Hey guys, I am not actually going to make an announcement video this week because I know y'all don't watch them. So I thought I'd start off this video with just a few quick announcements. So first of all, I am done grading all of your personal logos. I'm sorry that took a minute. It just took a while to grade all of them and give each of you constructive feedback, which I know you appreciate, right? So it did take a while, but they're done now. Second of all, your recipe sketches are due today. Remember, I gave you an extra day since I was late uploading last week. You had an extra day to do that project. And then this week, you are actually going to be redoing an invitation that I did a while ago. I went ahead and changed some fonts and everything for you so you'll be able to see it on your computer. But then you are going to go in and change or add at least one font, add a graphical or a graphic element or a photo if you wish, either one. But I'm actually going to go through that with you today because the ultimate point of this is to learn how to export and package projects out of InDesign. So when you send it to a printer, if you just send, let's say you put some really cool graphics in your magazine layout that you did, and then you downloaded some really cool fonts from like defont.com. If you just send that to your printer, they might not have all of those elements on their computer. So when it shows up, it says error. And then they have to figure out where you got those fonts from and go search from them. And it's a really big mess. So if you just package it all up for them, then you avoid this problem. Some printers for smaller projects, they'll just tell you to send them a PDF and they'll print it off of that. But I want to give you the, the big picture, most technical information on here so that if you do face that in the future, you know how to do it, right? So with that, let's go ahead and jump into InDesign. So I'm going to go ahead and minimize myself. So this is a document that you should have downloaded off of Blackboard, okay? And I'm also going to really emphasize with y'all, I'm going to delete this because we're going to do that together. I want you to really get in the habit of keeping all of your elements together for every project in one folder. And you'll see how important that is. But remember, last week we talked about how InDesign will look to the same place for like pictures and fonts every time. And if you move it, freaks out. So by keeping everything in one folder together, you really eliminate that problem. So I went ahead and made a folder called Export Challenge because that's what this is, but you can call it whatever you want. And I saved the InDesign file to that folder. And then I also saved the two graphic elements that I want to show y'all. I don't know if I'm going to use both, doesn't matter. But I went ahead and put it in this folder so that we can mess with them as we're going through this project. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is go ahead and change a font. So InDesign is set up a lot like Illustrator. So if you want to play with your text, you can go to Window, and then you can either go to I'm sorry. Okay, go to Window, type in Tables, and then Character, and that would be to mess with your fonts and some spacing there, and then Paragraph is going to be some more tools that we can use with your font. But today we're just looking at, or with your text, I'm sorry. Today I'm just looking at font, but well, here, I'll go ahead and show you Paragraph as well, just so you know what's in there. And feel free to mess around with that too. You can change the alignment of your text. You can change some spacing, but we'll get more into that when we talk about widows and orphans. But today we're going to focus on character, or the objects that are in character. So I have this set as Myriad Pro right now, which, that's pretty basic. But the original font that I used for this was Lovely Quotes. So I'm going to pull that up again. So Lovely Quotes was actually a font that I found on defont.com. All I did was go to, here, I'll show y'all, defont.com. Let me minimize myself. And then I searched, because I already knew what font I wanted. I searched for Lovely Quotes. Again, you do not have to use this font. Please, I'd like you to branch out actually, but if just as an example, and then you say download, and then depending on what kind of computer you use, go to your download folder, and then click on that TTF font file, and then you would just say install font. Now, some of them, they'll come with regular and then also like italicized, bold, underline. If you want any of those, you have to, choose which one you want and go through one by one. But anyway, like I said, I already knew exactly which one I wanted. Come in here, change it to Lovely Quotes. Okay, so, and just so you know, this is a lot. The font looked a lot bigger and nicer than this. Actually, I might show y'all what the final product looked like, just so you have like a little inspiration. But so now if I were to send this to a coworker, a printer, anything, they're not going to have this font on their computer. So it'll show up as error. And that's also why I didn't send it to y'all like that, because your computer wouldn't know where to find it and it would just say error. But it looks a lot better, right? Let's see. So next you're going to go ahead and import an image. I'm going to save this as we're going along. Again, it has a little star up here if you don't have something saved, and then as soon as you save it, it goes away, just like Illustrator. So we're going to place our object. So File, Place, and I'm just going to go ahead and use the picture of the seal. So I'm not going to take the time to make this look super pretty. I just want to show you what happens when you place an object. Okay. Come on, there you go. So I have this in here, but I'm not really sure what the effective PPI or the color mode on it is. So remember, our effective PPI tells us, I think it's how many pixels per inch there are, and basically you need it to be up to 300. So if you take an object that is at 72 because you downloaded it off of the internet and it's suited for screens, okay? The smaller you make that image, the effective PPI will go up. And at some point, we don't really care what the actual PPI of the image is. We just care what the effective PPI of it is before we print it. So one way that we can check that is by going to links, which you can click on links here, and then you can also get to it by going to Window, Links. And it'll show every link that you have, but the only one that we have right now is our seal. And again, this is where you would go to fix a missing link as well if you accidentally move something and then your computer can't find it. So it tells us the name, the format, which JPEG is fine, the color space, we have RGB, and we need our, oh my goodness, what am I trying to say? Our image, I can't think of the right word. Anyway, we want photo images though to be CMYK, so that's a problem. And then if we come down here, our actual PPI is 72, which remember I said that's not a big deal as long as we get it up to 300. But our effective PPI is also not quite at 300 yet. Also, I want to show you real quick. So click the circle to mess with our actual image. What happens to our PPI if I don't hold down Shift and I stretch out our image? So you see how they don't match anymore because the effective PPI of my width is a lot smaller than my height because I made everything short and stout. So if I Control Z, it goes back to having one number because both sides are the same. So that's one way that we can check to make sure our image isn't stretched. And even if you do it just by like the smallest bit, it'll tell me that it's off. So this is something that I'm going to be checking on these projects. So make sure that you do it the right way because I'll be able to see it even if it's only like 1 pixel off. Okay, so if I come in here and I'm going to make it just a little bit smaller so that we get up to that 300, which hopefully you'll find a bigger image than I did to begin with, and this won't be a problem for you. But anyway, you can see we got it up to 306. That's great. Now, how do we fix our color space though? And I'm going to go ahead and save, make that little star go away. So I want you, if you're using an image, like a photo image, and you need to change it to be CMYK, you're going to open it in Photoshop. So the good news is that all of you have access to Photoshop because you already have Creative Cloud. So if you open Photoshop, I'm going to show you a very simple way to change a photo. You don't need to know anything else in Photoshop for this class except this, okay? So come up here, once you open your image, you're going to come to Image, Mode, change it to CMYK, say, yep, I know what I'm doing, thank you. Press save, be sure to save it. You can make it as high quality as you feel like it needs to be, okay? Now, since we opened it in the linked image and we didn't change where it is or anything else, it should have went ahead and update itself. So did you see that little caution sign that came up? And then I double clicked it and I said to modify it. So that's just going to put the latest image of that linked file, the latest version of that linked file in there, okay? If you need to, go back and watch that again, just so you can see that. So anyway, now our image though is CMYK. We're up to effective PPI of 306. We are ready to go. So I wanna make sure now that I don't have any other errors, links missing, anything like that. So one way that we can double check this is by going to Window, Output, Preflight, so that we can have a Preflight. So if I had any errors, they would show up here, but I don't at the moment, and that's good. In order to print your Preflight report, you're going to click on this little hamburger menu, say Save Report, and then I want you to save it to the same folder that your project is in, okay? You can just name it Preflight Report, that's fine. It's just going to be a PDF image, and if you have any errors, it'll show up there. So I'm hoping that when I open all of your Preflight reports, I'll get a nice message that says no errors, and that's all we'll have to do with that. Okay, so to package our project up, we're going to go to File, Package. This is where you're going to make the report for me, and just save it again in that same folder, okay? And then save package. Oh, and I forgot to save it. So all of these checkboxes should be checked. If you need to pause it right here and write these down, do that. We're pretending that we are printing this. So we're going to select high quality print, package. That's okay. And now when we go to our folder, you can see this little package here was made. And if we double click that, it has all of our document fonts, all of the links, our InDesign package, a PDF version of it, as well as an IDNL file. Yay! So when you turn this into me, I want you to zip this folder. So if you right click it, and then you tell it to compress, which you should be able to do it the exact same way on Windows, then you get this little zip folder here. And that is what I want you to turn in to me on Blackboard, okay? Now, if you just wanted to export this, you didn't need to package it for whatever reason, you can just go to File, Export, and then choose one of your options here. Most of the time we're going to choose PDF, whether it is going online or printed. In InDesign, that's just how it goes. So anyway, I hope that made sense to y'all. And if you have any questions, of course, feel free to reach out to me. I am still in the process of like moving and packing this week, and after Thursday, so Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I'm actually moving those days. So please don't send me any questions on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, because I most likely will not answer them, at least for a while. I know normally I try to get back to y'all within 24 hours, but this week might be longer than that. So just try to get this done as soon as possible. And then that way, if you have any questions, I can work them out with you. If you do run into questions though, please don't hesitate to email me. It just might take me longer, okay? Anyway, y'all have a great week, and I'll see you next time. Bye.